this show, everybody. Joseph Robert Camo. We are talking about 5 sleepers for fantasy football 2021 that I absolutely love. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I came up this morning to the studio and I'm just like, hey, I got to check which sleepers I like. I glanced, and these were the first 5 that popped out to me, so I don't want to limit it to these guys. These are the ones that jumped out at me. There's a lot more sleepers. That's why you guys have got to make sure you subscribe, leave a thumbs up. I'm going to be doing a lot more episodes like this and adding more to this list because, again, there's more deeper sleepers, and as the NFL draft happens, right, we're going to see these rookies come in, and maybe some of these sleepers might fall off. Oh, okay, well, that committee looks good now, but then they draft a stud rookie running back, and that kind of ruins that whole thought process. For example, T. Higgins, right? He looks like a great sleeper right now, right? With Joe Burrow coming back, looked good last year, but the Bengals, I heard they might be drafting a wide receiver, right? An ace one for that matter, and early on. So that could ruin Higgins' value slightly. So this is going to change a little bit after the draft, but there's 5 sleepers here that jumped out at me. I got to talk about them and explain why I love them, because I got to back it up, right? It's very, very important. So before I get into this, guys, make sure you guys do smash that thumbs up. It helps the channel. It takes 2 seconds. Please hit that thumbs up. Just smash it a little bit. Really helps. Also, guys, in the comments below, let me know what you guys think of these sleepers. I want you guys to interact. Let me know if it makes sense. Usually when I talk, it makes sense. I'm like, okay, I like this guy. Here's why. And it makes sense. But if it's not making sense to you, let me know. Joe, I disagree with that in a nice way in the comments below. Love to hear your feedback. And if you want the answers, guys, 16-round draft solution. It's like a cheat sheet, right? But better, because cheat sheets are just copy and paste rankings, draft kits, all that stuff. This is a real practical solution, but it's going to have me, when I say cheat sheet, I mean, I'm going to be in your corner during the draft. 16-round draft solution. You can pre-order it right here below. Get it for the lowest price of the season. Actually, we've had a little bit of a spike. I raised it a couple bucks, but right now it's going to be the lowest price it is now. It might go up later on. You're still getting in at a good deal. TheFantasyFootballAccounts.com, 16-round draft solution. There's only been 1 price increase. I may keep it here. I may raise it. I'm still trying to figure that out. Or there's a link here below if you're on YouTube, or TheFantasyFootballAccounts.com. This is the first ever video training. Draft kits are dead, guys. I give you all the optimal players drafted in each round. For example, last year, Jefferson, if you got 16 rounds, you were getting him in the 9th round. 8th to 9th round is where I had him. Whereas the mainstream last year, what did they do? They said he was a waiver wire wonder. I'm like, dude, you guys got to do a little more digging than that. Now everybody's riding his dick, right? So you got to think outside the box, and that's what I do in 16 rounds. Get it below, guys. It'll help you guys crush your leagues and give you a massive advantage over the competition. I assure you that. Been doing this a long time, okay? You're going to have me in your corner. Get it below. All right, so first sleeper here. This is an obvious one for me. It may not pop out for you guys. The first guy is Matt Ryan. Let me tell you why he's a sleeper. This is very, very important, okay? First and foremost, I love Julio Jones this year as value, currently sitting 13th on the consensus rankings amongst PPR in wide receivers, right? And then you've got Calvin Ridley, who's sitting around, I think he's around 6th or 7th on the consensus rankings. I'm going to filter this out here. Now, I only use, this is the thing, right? Never listen to the mainstream rankings, okay? The average ADPs, that's BS. I use it as a guideline to do better. So whatever they do, I pretty much do the opposite. I think outside the box. For example, last year, everyone said Michael Thomas, first wide receiver overall. I'm like, great, let everybody take Michael Thomas. He's due for a decline, right? Injury happened, he got hurt, whatever. And that's what I love, because I love, the value that I see when I see these sheep rankings. It's actually advantageous to you guys if you listen to my stuff compared to somebody else, right? Because they're just cookie cutter, copy and paste, right? So Matt Ryan, like I said, we've got Julio sitting 13th. We've got Ridley sitting 6th amongst wide receivers in PPR at the moment. Let me just filter this out here. Actually, Ridley's 7th and Julio's 13th, correct, in both PPR and standard, actually. So when I look at those guys, like, who's throwing the ball? It's going to be Matt Ryan, right? Matt Ryan is throwing these balls. So how in God's name is Matt Ryan currently sitting 15th amongst the consensus rankings? Like, it's absolute, and I'm telling you, this is absolute ludicrous, and it's lies. I'm telling you, it's lies. Now, Calvin Ridley had a great year last year, 143 targets. Julio was banged up. Because Julio was banged up, that's why Ridley is currently sitting ahead of him, right? Because the consensus are copying and pasting. Matt Bryan having an absolute terrible year last year, still was number 1 in attempts, 626 attempts. He threw it that many times. He threw it more than Tom Brady at 6'10". He threw it more than Big Ben, who throws it more than pretty much anybody in the league, than Justin Herbert at 4. So Matt Ryan throws the ball a lot. So you're going to get a ton of volume. Now, he didn't have the greatest year, finished 12th last year, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Partly because Julio was gone. Now, Julio is not really a touchdown monster, but he's still a guy that moves the ball down the field, putting you in position to get more touchdowns. Does that make sense? He's a big yardage guy, getting the ball down the field. Big-bodied receiver, going to bring the ball in. He's going to get the extra yards per catch. Julio was not on the field for a big majority of the season last year. That's going to hurt Matt Ryan a little bit. A healthy Julio and a bounce-back season out of him, I mean, the sky's the limit for Matt Ryan. Just a quick note here on Matt Ryan before I wrap this up on why I love him. In 2020, I told you, finished number 12th amongst quarterbacks. Number 11th in 2019. And check this out. He was second in fantasy points amongst quarterbacks in both years, 2018 and 2016. Now, you can say he's washed up, whatever. I don't care what you say, because he's going to be a backup on my roster with massive upside, top 5 potential, and a bounce back year. He had a terrible year last year. They could only improve on that, and he still finished 12th without Julio Jones being on the field for a majority of the time. I love Matt Ryan. Great value and a steal in drafts. Currently sitting 15th right now, guys, in the quarterback rankings amongst quarterbacks. It's absolute ludicrous considering they're so high on Calvin Ridley. They got him at number 7. All right, this sleeper I love it, running back. Now, you could probably debate me and say he's not a sleeper, but I say he's a sleeper because the Consheeps are sleeping on him. He's currently sitting 16th amongst running backs. Now, one thing that I look at when I look at any running back is volume. Volume to me is absolutely huge. If you're going to get volume and you're going to be the workhorse running back, then I love you, okay? And then I look at the youth. And then I look at who's behind him. Carlos Hyde was brought in. Carlos Hyde is not a guy that is a big threat. He might get some goal line work. He might come in here and there. But I see James Robinson being the guy. Now, this is a weird situation because this is the only time, there's like I said, there's some variances they can choose. They usually copy and paste, but they've kind of left out James Robinson. I'll tell you why. Because he came in as an undrafted running back, right? Free agent. And nobody was high on him, right? Even I didn't even see this last year, right? The fact that he came in and he absolutely crushed it is kind of a knock to the consensus. Kind of like their Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? They were all high on him. He crapped the bed. So they kind of got to save face and kind of put him higher. In this case, he's at 18, but they always try to save face with certain players, right? Dick Chubb got hurt last year. They got him in the top 7. Austin Eckler, let me filter this by PPR. They all were high on Austin Eckler. I said, be careful, Austin Eckler. They got him at number 8 in PPR amongst running backs because they're trying to save face, right? That's what they do. With James Robinson, he's not a popular name, right? He's on the Jacksonville Jaguars, not a popular team, right? Not a big market team. He's not the Odell Beckham Jr. of running backs, right? He's not that popular name. So they are kind of down on him, I think, because of that. It's a popularity contest for these sheep analysts. So with Robinson, he's currently sitting 6th right now. Guys like Eckler, guys like Mixon, guys like Sanders, guys like Chubb ahead of him, where this guy could easily finish ahead of these guys based on volume. And the fact that they might get Trevor Lawrence, they might get an ace quarterback, which is going to open things up. Hopefully they improve the O-line a bit. But James Robinson, a guy who's going to come into his own, is going to be great value in drafts. If I can get him as part of a robust RB strategy, I love him. And yes, he's a sleeper to me still, currently sitting there at number 16. And here's a bonus sleeper for you, because he's not listed here because he's not really a sleeper, but Cam Akers right now, currently sitting 14th, and he's going to start coming up the rankings as well. I'm really high on him as well. But and I see some of the sheep starting to jump on the Cam Akers train right now, but it's going to be hard for them to slide him ahead their beloved Nick Chubb and Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones and guys like that. But Cam Akers could smash all those guys based on volume and talent and opportunity. So again, going back, James Robinson, love him. Again, tons of upside. Last year had a great season. I mean, an undrafted free agent. Where did he finish? He finished 7th, 240 attempts. Hopefully that goes up. 1,070 yards. Hopefully that goes up. 7 touchdowns. Hopefully that goes up. The offense is going to move the ball down the field, hopefully more, and open things up. James Robinson, I love, and I think he's going to be great value. He's a fantasy football sleeper. I love. Next guy here is Deontay Johnson, currently sitting 25th amongst wide receivers in the rankings, which is absolutely ludicrous. He finished 21st last year amongst wide receivers, 144 targets. That's something that I look at when I look at any wide receiver. I look at how much targets he's gotten, because that's an important indicator that the quarterback likes him and that he's going to get the volume. And like we said, Big Ben throws more than any other quarterback in the NFL. He's coming near the end of his career. He's going to want to finish on a high note. Yes, they brought Juju back, which is a thorn on the side. to me a little bit, but I still think Deontay is going to be the one there. Now, he had some issues dropping the ball last year, and I get it, but I think that gets improved a little bit. We saw him improve it near the end of the season, but Deontay Johnson is a guy, I mean, it's a no-brainer to me that if I can get him for value as my wide receiver 2-3, why not put him on my bench? He's going to have some big games, and he's going to maintain that volume count, I think, because Big Ben has shown that rapport with him. Now, there's Claypool as well, who I love as well. If you can stash him, similarly to last year, both these guys were on my team. Why not? He's going to have some big games. He could be a touchdown monster. He could take a step up this year as well. But again, last year, remember, the mainstream told you Juju round 3. I said, stay away from Juju, stash these two guys. Both these guys did just as good as Juju last year, even better. I love the opportunity here for Deontay. He's a big-time sleeper. Again, currently sitting number 25 amongst wide receivers. Again, ludicrous on a team that could be high octane where Big Ben's going to throw the ball a lot, okay? Keep that note. Here's a deeper sleeper here, which is shocking to me. I mean, again, the mainstream trying to save face here, but the guy I'm talking about is Robbie Anderson. Now, these guys just don't get it. They don't get it. Last year, I told you, Robbie Anderson, I had a DJ Moore. They said DJ Moore round 3. All drafts, DJ Moore was very highly sought out. Everybody said DJ Moore is the guy. I said, what proves he's the guy? Bridgewater was coming in, and nobody knew he had the rapport with DJ Moore. Like, it was like anybody's game, and I thought Robbie Anderson at value, and I recommended in my 16 rounds. Make sure you guys get 16 rounds. You're going to see this stuff. You're going to have this extra eagle vision here on this stuff. But Robbie Anderson was a guy I got for free. I got him like pretty much, I don't remember what round. It was like 12th, 13th round for free. He outperformed DJ Moore. Finished number 19th last year amongst wide receivers in PPR. Finished number 19th. That's insane. 136 targets. Now his touchdowns lack. We need to get those touchdowns up from 3. That's going to go up this year. I'm not really sold on Darnold. That's the issue for me. But hopefully he is an improvement for Bridgewater. I think it's a coin toss which way he goes. I don't know. But Robbie Anderson currently sitting right now, believe it or not, guys, he is, I think, 34th on the consensus rankings right now. 34th. I mean, that is insane. A guy finished 19th last year, and DJ Moore is sitting 18th. Again, the thought process here, they copy and paste a lot of stuff, but then again, they're saving face because they had DJ Moore last year. They think DJ Moore is better than Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson outperformed DJ Moore last year. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if I can get Robbie Anderson for free, he's a sleeper value. Why not? He's going to be the wide receiver 1 of the team based on what we've seen. But again, we don't know because it's a new quarterback coming in. But if I can get him for value and flip a coin, he's my wide receiver 5 on my team, and he's going to perform at wide receiver 1 numbers, heck, why not? He's a sleeper to me, and I love him. Great deal. All right, another quarterback sleeper here, and the fifth sleeper that I love pops out to me, and he's kind of been on my radar, and again, maybe because I'm a Colts fan here, but I got to go Carson Wednesday here. Currently sitting 17th on the consensus rankings amongst quarterbacks. He's easily going to be top 10, top 12 for me. Great O-line. They brought T.Y. Hilton back. Michael Pittman evolving. Hopefully, maybe they grab another wide receiver. Who knows? One of the best O-lines in the game. Like I said, Jonathan Taylor evolving. They brought Marlon Mack back, but I'm still a Jonathan Taylor believer in the early rounds. I think he's still going to get some volume. Now, there's really nothing to go on here other than the fact that he had a good season a couple years ago in 2019, finished number 10th amongst quarterbacks, got injured near the end. Now he's going to get more protected, right? He's not going to get knocked down. I believe Phillip Rivers got sacked around, I think, 18, 19 times last year. Rivers was going to get hit way more. I'm sorry, Carson Wentz is going to get hit way more and was hit way more where he played, right? Eagles, not as good O-line. He's going to have more protection this year with the Colts. So with that more protection, right, good running back, good offense, he's proven that he can be a top 10 quarterback on a crappy team. Now going to a better situation, hungry, with a chip on his shoulder, I can imagine he's going to do better. And again, we can gauge this to Phillip Rivers, who finished 20th last year. And Phillip Rivers is at the end of the rope. He sucks. He's not that good, right? He didn't even find T.Y. Hilton. He didn't even know T.Y. Hilton was on the field till like week 11 or 12 because I had T.Y. Hilton on my bench, right? So T.Y. Hilton's a guy that just was not fed till later. It was a big disappointment with the way Rivers performed. 24 touchdowns, just unacceptable. Wentz could do a lot better than that. Carson Wentz, a guy that I think as a backup quarterback with massive upside, love him, okay? Now, he's not going to be my starter, but he could finish top 10. Either Wentz and Matt Ryan, both good backup quarterback values to secure him above your ace quarterback that you've anchored earlier. I think it's going to be a great value. You guys will be very happy, I think, with Carson Wentz this year. And what's crazy is they've got Matt Stafford ahead of him. They've got Kirk Cousins ahead of him. They've got Jalen Hurts ahead of him. Jalen Hurts is only throwing like, 6 touchdowns his entire career. Like, he hasn't been proven. He has no wide receivers there. The fact that he is sitting ahead of Ryan Tannehill and Tom Brady and Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz is absolutely ludicrous. This is one of those guys that I think there's going to be some big regret as well. So again, those are my sleepers that I love off the bat. Quick glance. Matt Ryan, James Robinson, Deontay Johnson, Robbie Anderson, Carson Wentz. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Love to get your feedback. Please, guys, let me know. Smash thumbs up, guys. It means the world to me. And, of course, get that 60-round draft solution. More sleeper videos coming your way. Again, this is making sense, right? You guys are thinking outside the box. It's going to be great value for you guys to grab this year. I'm going to offer it all in the 16-round draft solution and where to get these guys. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you, and I'm out.